What's going on, y'all? We're gonna do something different today. I'm gonna do a comparison. My video about my 665 that I just newly acquired, this is far and away the best 60cc class saw that's ever been made. And I opened up my big fat mouth and said that this would run with an 046 460. We're gonna find out today. Let's go through some of the specs, and here's what I've got. And this is bone stock, no modifications, just like it came from the factory. Here's an early version of an 046. This is one that I put together, acquiring parts over a couple of years. Those first 2 years of the 046 had some better parts on there, more performance oriented from the factory. You've got a 3-legged coil that's got a better timing curve, in my opinion. Not to be confused with the newer 461 3-legged coils. These were only on the first couple of years of production. This is an early cylinder. From that first couple of years of production, and this has a pre-EPA carburetor on it as well. I think it's a Walbro HD9. So it's a fully unlimited carburetor, slightly bigger throat on it. The other thing is, so even though this is Ugly Betty right here, this is one of my go-to firewood saws. The only thing that's not stock on it is the air filter. It's got a max flow without the rain shield on it. This has got all new bearings and seals, OEM steel, OEM gaskets, and it's put back together just like it would have left the factory. New piston and rings. It's got a decent amount of run time on it, so it's well broken in and the rings are seated. Then we got New School 462. This one's all stock, nothing done to it. Standard muffler. These early 046s did have something that had a better performing muffler on it. There was no baffle on the inside. It's just an open can, has a very large side port opening, and it has the factory dual port cover that came with it. So, pretty interesting saw to be able to put these back together, because you want to look at, these are 20, 25-year-old saws and technology right next to modern technology. You're going to make horsepower, and I think at a higher RPM in these, and that's typically what we see, even though these are still considered modern saws. So here's the specs. This Solo is 65.9 cc's. It's rated at 4.8 horsepower from the factory. Your 046 is rated at 6.1 horsepower from the factory, and the 462 is rated at 6 horsepower from the factory. Weight-wise, this is 14.7 pounds, 14.3 pounds, so just a little bit lighter. And that's dry weight. And I don't know who runs a saw without gas and oil in it and no bar and chain, but my little home scale only goes up to like 12 pounds, so I can't weigh these off. They're all full of fuel and oil, but I don't have an accurate number of what it is with the bars and chains and full of liquids. So 14.7 pounds, 14.3 pounds, and I don't know how much you're going to notice, a couple of ounces. And then we all know the 462 is wonderfully light. That's one of the things I think Stihl has really done better than anybody else, is really lighten these saws up, man. They've done a great job. So this empty dry power head is 13.2 pounds, which is going to be significantly lighter. You're over a pound lighter than both of these, and it feels like that. Anybody that's run these new versions, the 400, the 462, the 500 is a little heavy for what it is, but they've really done a wonderful job of keeping these new saws nice and light and nimble. So we're going to go out and run them. I've got a brand hammer new off the roll chain on each one of these. We're going to be running Husqvarna C83 chains, full comp, 50 gauge. And like I said, all these have never seen wood, and they're right off the roll. So let's go see what they can do and see how big and bad my Solo is compared to some larger CC saws, and see if it'll really hang. All right.